What's going on, everyone? WrestleMania here, back with your latest batch of breaking WWE stories, rumors, and everything in between. And trust me, this one's packed. We've got a WWE ban that's turning heads, a potential AI takeover of wrestling storytelling, a top star out until 2026, major call-ups on the way, a touching moment involving Sheamus, and much, much more. So let's not waste time, let's jump right into it. One of the biggest stories right now is about Andrade. After making waves by reappearing briefly on AEW programming, he's now mysteriously vanished, leaving fans scratching their heads. And now we may have some answers. Reports are surfacing that Andrade is under a strict WWE non-compete clause. He's not just temporarily benched, he might be facing a full-year ban from appearing on AEW or any other promotion. Apparently, the TKO contracts WWE talent now sign include a clause stating that if a wrestler breaches the non-compete terms, they can be blocked from working with any other wrestling, MMA, or sports entertainment company not affiliated with WWE for up to a year. PW Insider broke this news, and since then, multiple sources have backed it up. It's not just a 90-day clause anymore. This is major. Interestingly, Andrade's legal team isn't taking this lightly. Fightful Select reported he has a very capable lawyer, though it's unclear if they're actively fighting it in court just yet. WWE reportedly isn't even paying him during the non-compete period, which just adds more tension to an already complicated situation. And here's the kicker. Many legal experts are already saying this clause may not hold up in court. It's bold, aggressive, and potentially unenforceable. But the fact that it's even in the contract in the first place says a lot about where WWE and TKO's legal mindset is right now. Tony Khan, AEW president, was recently asked about Andrade and his contract situation. His response? Pretty vague. He expressed his respect for Andrade but couldn't say much, which only fuels the speculation. This whole ordeal could blow up even further, especially now that mainstream media outlets are beginning to pick up the story. If WWE doesn't get ahead of this with a public statement, the PR nightmare could snowball fast. Speaking of wild moves, WWE is leaning into AI, and not in a small way. They've just hired a new director of creative strategy whose job is to lead the company into AI-driven storytelling. That's right, storylines, character development, and maybe even promos could be influenced or written entirely by artificial intelligence in the future. Cyrus Kosari, formerly of BuzzFeed and MMA outlet One Championship, is now overseeing this shift. He's been introduced to WWE's creative team by Triple H himself. Apparently, Kosari's role involves managing AI tools and even working with political contacts, as Triple H reportedly has growing political aspirations. One tool WWE is currently experimenting with is called Writer AI, a platform already fed WWE content to learn the ropes. So far, though, its output has been, well, let's just say questionable. One storyline the AI pitched involved Bobby Lashley returning as a wrestler obsessed with Japanese culture and history. And yes, the AI didn't seem to realize Lashley's status with the company was no longer active. The idea of AI writing WWE's future storylines is raising eyebrows for fans and industry insiders alike. Will this eventually replace human writers? Could this lead to bizarre, nonsensical storylines making it to air? It's definitely something to keep a close eye on. Whether this improves or derails WWE's storytelling could depend on how smart this AI really is. Meanwhile, let's talk John Cena. Rumors are flying about Cena finally capturing the Intercontinental Championship, something that's eluded him throughout his Hall of Fame career. There's talk that WWE wants Cena to win the IC title at Survivor Series this year, possibly from Dominic Mysterio. And that's not all. His final title defense might come against Gunther, who's had one of the most dominant runs in recent memory. Cena versus Gunther for the IC title? That's a dream match that could easily headline a major show and give Cena a true last match moment. And speaking of final matches, there's also buzz about Batista potentially coming out of retirement for one more clash, this time against Cena. The pitch was floated by Peter Rosenberg, who said fans never got full closure on Batista's career. While Batista has repeatedly shut down the idea of returning to the ring and is thriving in Hollywood, the fantasy of seeing Cena versus Batista one more time, especially as Cena's farewell match, is hard to ignore. Still, it seems extremely unlikely Batista would lace up the boots again. But in wrestling, you never say never. On a more somber note, Jacob Fatu is expected to be out of action possibly until 2026. His injury is reportedly non-wrestling related, but severe enough to derail major plans. WWE had significant storylines lined up for him, including feuds with Drew McIntyre and potentially Cody Rhodes. Fatu was generating a ton of buzz backstage, and fans were excited to see what he'd bring to the table. This is a huge creative setback for WWE, and now they're scrambling to adapt. As a result of Fatu's absence, WWE is planning some main roster call-ups, especially to bolster SmackDown. WRKD Wrestling reports that fresh faces will be joining the Blue brand very soon. Oba Femi, who recently dropped the NXT title, is a top contender for the call-up. Other rumored names include Ethan Page, Ricky Saint, and Jordan Grace. These new additions could bring a much-needed shakeup to the SmackDown landscape. Elsewhere in the WWE Universe, a surprising name has offered to help Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, none other than Omos. He recently returned on the NXT live circuit and posted on social media that he's available if Lynch needs backup against the Vision. Becky even responded with a cryptic thinking emoji, sparking fan speculation. The idea of Omos working with Lynch adds a fun twist to her character and brings Omos back to the main roster spotlight. He's got huge potential, and it's been a mystery why WWE hasn't used him more prominently. In heartbreaking news, Sheamus recently shared that his beloved dog Betty has passed away. Just weeks after finishing a round of chemotherapy, Betty lost her battle, and Sheamus posted a touching tribute on Instagram. He spoke about how deeply Betty impacted his life and how her spirit never wavered, even after losing a leg to cancer. His wife, Isabella, also paid tribute, calling Betty the sweetest and happiest dog until the very end. Fans and fellow wrestlers quickly flooded social media with messages of love and support. Our deepest condolences go out to Sheamus and his family. And for those wondering what's going on with Nikki Bella, well, so are we. Earlier this year, she was rumored to be making a longer-term return to WWE, including multiple matches. But since then, she's vanished from TV. According to Fightful Select, Nikki's run isn't officially over, and she may appear here and there depending on the plans. It turns out there weren't any real creative ideas for her in the lead-up to WWE's Australia event, which is why she's been absent. Fans are hoping to see her back on SmackDown, possibly in a heel role feuding with Tiffany Stratton. With SmackDown's women's division needing star power, Nikki could be a solid addition if brought back the right way. And finally, let's talk Vince McMahon. He's managed to score a legal win this week. Vince was recently involved in a reckless driving incident, but he's now been granted pre-trial probation. If he maintains a clean record until October of next year and makes a $1,000 donation to charity, the charge will be dismissed. At 80 years old, Vince is still finding ways to escape trouble, and this latest court outcome proves it. That wraps up all the latest WWE news, rumors, and updates from this wild week. What are your thoughts on Andrade's situation? Cena possibly winning the IC title, or AI creeping into WWE creative? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily wrestling news. Catch you next time!